What's up, YouTube? It's me, Lady Vet, here to review episode 2 of the final season 4 of Power Book 2 Ghost. The title is dead on to thine own self be true, as everyone is faced with life changing decisions, especially Tariq, who just took out a federal officer. We begin this review with a look at two broke college students with no family assist. This would be normal for anyone else, but both Tariq and Braden has only known the rich life. Detective Carter is head of the task force that now has a watchful eye on Tariq, especially after the death of Junior Valdez. Tariq and Braden woke up with their dream coming true as normal college students. Both were miserable with the start of their new lives. Braden is an up and coming real estate agent that he hates with a passion. Tariq is becoming familiar with the process of student loans and minimum pay week. They try really hard to figure out how they ended their street business without any say in the matter. Tariq mentioned how he was supposed to be smarter than everyone around him. Sounds like something that Ghost would say. They even questioned whether they deserved to be in the game anymore. Actually, the short-lived normal college student life is over, and they are thinking of how to get back in the game. Tariq will not be working in the assigned school jobs long. All something that Tariq would eventually use to his advantage. We will see how Tariq changed the order of things. After all, he was the mastermind of course correct. Monet's healing seemed to depend on finding her shooter. So Kane and Drew are trying to do that. Kane tells Drew that he doesn't understand why look elsewhere if Diana said that it was Tariq. But Drew wants Kane to believe that Diana was wrong. Diana has more to worry about than how she and Drew wanted their mother dead, as she may be a mom herself. She shopped for an in-home pregnancy test and looked anything but happy. Effie concentrated on her dream, engineering. She was happy to see an opening for her to apply. She was one step closer to reaching her goal. Braden saw his dad moving out of the family home, but noticed his dad turn away from him. With the Westons losing everything, they really need each other now. But yeah, Robert is counted racist, and Tariq is the brains of the group. Monet has her cousin Janet to assist her in her recovery. Her recovery is a little tricky. She's still having flashbacks even after coming out of a coma. Noma read about Carter's bust on the Russians' product and saw an opportunity to expand. Obi reminded Noma that working with the Russians would disappoint the Tejadas. Noma could care less, so she told Obi to set up a meet with the Russians. Then she inquired about Obi's quickness in getting the green cards that he asked her for. Obi told her that he got them through the embassy, officially. Noma's still suspicious. Davis's attorney came over to prep him for the suspension hearing, but he wanted to know what the associates were saying. Basically, Jenny Sullivan made serious allegations against Davis, and he should be concerned. She got distracted as Davis was still sweating from his morning workout. When the Tejada siblings got home, Janet was making Monet comfortable when Kane asked cousin Janet to excuse herself and let the immediate family have some private time. Janet hurried off, not wanting to get caught up in the family drama. Kane told Monet that the streets don't know who came for her. Monet will not let the matter go. So she said that they weren't looking hard enough. Monet is determined to get to her shooter. Kane still wanted to look at Tariq, but Monet uttered that Diana said it wasn't Tariq. Drew said that because they hated Tariq doesn't mean that he did it, and Tariq is protected by Noma after all. Diana wanted to dead the conversation, but Kane wanted to know why were they protecting Tariq. Monet squashed it by telling Kane to use his head because Diana was in the car with her. Monet moved to the business and found out that Noma wants to supply the Russians. Monet got upset Taking it to the classroom, it was debates as usual, except the stare down between Tariq and Effie. Their history continues. Davis and Miss Tanaka attended the hearing to find that Davis's license to practice law will be temporarily suspended, pending his disbarment hearing. Davis was appalled and upset that he would get a letter for another hearing and stormed out of the room. Davis wasn't the only one storming out of a room. After class, Effie followed Tariq to talk to him about being good with him. But Tariq doesn't let go of people who wrong him. So look out, Effie. Tariq will be coming for you. Davis was told that his appointment had arrived. Carter waited for Davis with a proposal. Carter wanted to use his friends to help Davis's career in return for helping him get to Tariq. Davis is stressed out and isn't feeling Carter at all. Carter's offer came with a no one has to know clause. However, Davis is a real one, so he offered Carter a proposal of his own. If Carter messed with his life, he would mess up Carter's life. Diana staring at her pregnancy kit when she and Effie met at the candy shop. Effie wants Diana to step up her game. Effie is tired of carrying most of the load, and we know how selfish Effie can be. She told Diana that they've got a ton of Noma's product to move through the Ivies. Diana wanted to know what's wrong with Effie's method, but Effie is not going to do all the work while Diana plays sorority girl. Diana wanted a week or two to get caught up, but Effie kept it simple. You're in or you're out with a bullet. Effie goes to see Noma and overhear Noma discussing the Vadam situation with Obi. When Noma and Obi get with Effie, she wants a bigger cut based on Noma increasing the weight moved on campus. Effie feels like she's working on her own. Noma wasn't moved by Effie's request. She told Effie that she has a lot of moxie and is only doing what's asked of her. Then Effie offered to bring more business to Noma, the Russians. Obi asked how could she do what he couldn't. She blamed it on the moxie. Noma gave her 24 hours and hoped that they didn't kill her. Monet and Janet reminisced about Monet's younger days with baby Cain and Lorenzo. Janet reminded Monet how patient she was with Cain. Monet flashed back to her need to want to raise up in the game a lot faster than Lorenzo. They talked about Monet wanting to give Cain everything, but Janet thought that he already had everything. Monet questioned whether she was a monster for wanting more. Monet remembered what it was like with her baby and rats. All memories began to suffocate Monet, and she told Janet that she had to go out. Effie met with the Russians to convince them to meet with Noma. They told Effie that they were closed, but she was determined to get her foot in the door. So she told them that she wanted a drink, and they allowed her to sit with them. They joined Effie with the drink because they thought that it was bad luck to drink alone. Effie told them that she doesn't believe in luck, that she makes her own by hacking into stuff. Effie offered to help Vadim's daughter, Oksana, with her college goals if he would meet with Noma. He told Effie to leave his daughter alone. But Effie proved to be trustworthy and got the meet to happen in exchange for changing Oksana's swim time. Tariq was working when Braden came to the candy shop to see what's up. Braden checked out Elle, and Tariq talked about the lack of study time. Braden attempted to shoot his shot with Elle when Brushandria chimed in. Making his rounds according to the Carter rules, he visited Tariq, called his name, and told him that they need to talk. They moved to a more quiet area where Tariq asked if they got new information on the shooter. Carter laughed at Tariq, telling him that he doesn't have to act with him and that he wasn't buying Tariq as a hero. Carter completed an oral profile of Tariq, being the son of James, one of New York City's biggest pieces of mess, with no code, no loyalty, just a mess. Tariq listened without flinching. Carter told Tariq that he smelled just like Ghost. Tariq denied knowing anything, although Carter told him that his gut says that Tariq killed Agent Young. Carter called Tariq a good liar. Tariq asked to get back to work, but as he left, Carter told him that Tasha was about to be bounced out of WITSEC. In my opinion, Detective Don Carter just made three mistakes. He put Tariq and Ghost in the same space and time. He put his hand on Tariq's face. And he mentioned my Tasha in a negative way. Monet pulls up to the meet planned for Noma and the Russians. Noma told Monet that she had no reason to be there and that she should go home. Monet told Noma that she was home and that this is her city. Noma told Monet that she was making a scene, a mistake. Monet said, "Yes, I am, after you have been sacrificing my kids." Then the Russians with Effie pulled up. Noma told Monet to go, and Monet said, and if she didn't, everyone pulled the strap on everyone else. The Russians asked if it was a setup and argued with Monet that if they see her again, they would kill her. The Russians retreated. Noma and Obi left. Monet appeared out of sorts, became dizzy, and passed out. Tariq contacted Davis to inquire about Carter. Davis had nothing good to say about Carter. Tariq asked Davis if Carter is someone to worry about, and the short answer was yes. Davis told Tariq that Carter is a cop on a mission. He was a rising star when his wife was killed at the ER where she worked. She was gunned down outside the ER as some dealers were finishing the guy on the gurney. Carter had bereavement leave and came back hard with his narcotics task force. He is nothing like the cops that Tariq is used to, so Davis warned him to watch his back. After the Noma and Russians meet, Effie drove Monet home after she passed out, so Monet's back to Dreamland. This one is about the time when she and Janet were stopped by a cop and Monet decided to put the gun in Kane's baby seat. And Lorenzo was upset about that and the fact of her going behind his back to get product. He warned her not to mix business with their kids. Monet was safe at home when she came to, surrounded by her kids. Kane told Monet that the game is changing and that she is out of her league. Diana interrupted to say that Monet was trying to help, but Kane thought that she was in the streets looking stupid. Monet told Kane to get out of her room and called Drew to come over to her bedside to talk about how Kane is making decisions while she is on the sidelines. Monet said that Kane took a lot of interest in the bullets taking her out. Drew and Diana tried talking Monet out of what she was thinking about Kane. Tariq had a meet with Tasha at the shop depot where he warned her to stay away from New York. Tasha wanted to know what brought Tariq there, and he said that Yaz told him where she worked. She explained that she was doing the best that she could since his trust fund is gone. Tariq shared his conversation with Carter with Tasha about her being put out of WITSEC. Meanwhile, Tariq watched some guy disrespect Tasha, and he looked like Ghost for a minute. Tasha sent Tariq away. Kane was at work when Noma pulled up. She expressed her anger towards Monet for ruining her meeting with the Russians. Noma wanted Kane to get the Russians back to the table, even though he ran the risk of being killed. Noma told Kane to figure it out. Kane called Effie, who was trying to get to her interview, but didn't want anything to happen to Kane, so she agreed. Tariq caught up with manager Chris, who had disrespected Tasha earlier. Reek smashed his hand, threatened his life, and told him that if he reported it, he would send people to the man's house to burn it down while he was in it. Diana's got her pregnancy test results as she waited patiently. Diana was anxious, but that didn't help the look on her face when she read the positive. Drew served Monet lunch and attempted to leave when Monet called him back to tell him that she had no choices in the Daddy Gordo murders and that she was doing what she had to do. Drew got upset all over again because he thought that Monet wanted to apologize for what she's done instead of justifying it. An upset Drew was about to change Monet's pills when Diana stopped him. Drew believes that Monet is poison and he wants her dead. Diana explains that they don't want to appear suspicious and that they are better than Monet. They blame Monet for the things that they have done. Unfortunately for them, Monet was listening on the other side of the door. When Tariq leaves Tasha's workplace, his and Two-Bit's car runs hot and is smoking, so he calls his day one Braden for an assist. Effie goes with Kane to see the Russians who asked for a reason not to kill them. Effie offers a folder with pictures of weapons as proof of Noma's good faith. Kane tells Vadim that Noma wouldn't arm anybody who was an enemy. Vadim accepts, but he has one condition, that he only talks to Effie. Braden made his way to Tariq, who is drowning in his sorrows. Tariq is miserable, being just a normal college student. Tariq focused on Tasha's situation and not being able to help. He talked about making $11 an hour. Braden talked about seeing his family lose everything and selling the house. Out of the ashes rises the phoenix. Tariq's got a plan, and yes, it's about making real money. Braden reminded Tariq of their conversation where Tariq talked about how unsmart he was. But Tariq doesn't believe that he's dumb. Janet was interrupted from cleaning when Monet wanted her opinion as to whether she ruined her kids because she was sure that she was teaching them how to survive, and now questions if she was doing what was best for herself. She wanted to know if she messed up so bad that there was no return. Drew told her that asking about it was a start. Diana went to get professional results about being pregnant. It was confirmed that Diana is pregnant. She got upset when asked about being ready for motherhood and about the environment or family to bring a new life into the world. Diana stormed out. Kane went to meet with Noma. Kane was choked out by Obi when he went to tell Noma that he extended an offer on her behalf without her knowledge. Kane told her that it's a good deal. She get to unload product and guns. Noma told Kane that he is confused about who is in charge. Kane struggled to tell Noma that he can convince her that he was right. Kane asked her to get Obi off of him. Noma had Obi release Kane and head out. She told Kane to stay and explain the deal. Obi left, and Noma offered Kane a scotch. A fresh start of back in the game for Tariq was to get his baby back from Two-Bit. Tariq and Braden watched Two-Bit go into a restaurant. Tariq's spare key worked, and he drove away with his car, leaving Two-Bit running out of the restaurant screaming. Don Carter waited for a conversation with Obi. Carter introduced himself to Obi, then told him that he tracked down his phone calls between he and a man who allegedly shot a federal officer. Obi told Carter that he must be mistaken. He didn't know what he was talking about. Carter then asked about his connection to whoever pushed through a green card for his brother. Obi seemed clueless, but Carter told him that they would talk about it later and he took Obi in. To close out the episode, Tariq met with Monet, who asked if he was clean. Tariq told Monet that he would not talk to her without his piece, and they sat down. Monet told Tariq that she doesn't think that her kids are looking to find out who shot her. Tariq admitted that it was not him, and their conversation led to Tariq wanting Monet dead, and Monet learning that Kate Egan is involved, with Tariq believing that Monet was coming for Tasha. But Monet doesn't know Kate Egan. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Until the next time, guys.